good?
Yeah.
Should we do another hour? It's so interesting. Everything is vibrating. The fan is vibrating in here. Only one fan? We're all vibrating. Our thoughts are vibrating. Every one of our thoughts is vibrating. We're actually feeding off each other, this vibration. Savannah has its own vibration even. Did you know that? Savannah vibrates. These big ships coming in here and they bring their vibrations. The United States is vibrating. Of all the cities put together, it makes a vibration. It represents something, this vibration. This is USA, this is us. Canada is vibrating, England is vibrating, Iraq is vibrating, Japan. This whole planet has a vibration to it. And it starts with us as individuals, vibrating. Shooting off vibrations by thought waves, constantly shooting through space. Do you know that the vibrations that people have passed away is still existing and bouncing around? The vibrations of Jesus Christ and Buddha and other great souls, that vibration is going around yet. And it's going to go on forever, that vibrations. There's so many different vibrations. Now, what is it to do with us, the vibrations? We're like antennas. We have antennas. We catch vibrations, and we are attracted to certain vibrations that are going out there. So a lot of times we're attracted to good vibrations, but sometimes bad vibrations too. We're attracted to those. We get caught into the vibrations of people saying that our country is bad, and they catch that vibration and thinking negative thoughts about their country or about people, each individual, a vibration going out and talking about somebody and giving judgments about somebody. That's the vibration that goes out and sets into motion. So we have all these different vibrations going out. What kind of vibrations are you sending out to the world? That is the question. Not what your neighbor is sending out a vibration now. What vibration are you putting out to everyone? Are you putting out a vibration that you like them? Are you putting a vibration you love them? Are you giving a vibration that I'm going to judge you? I'll tell you what kind of vibration I'll give you. It depends on you, not me. Is that kind of vibration we want to give? I don't think so. We want to surrender to love and give that vibration out. I think that'd be the one we all want to give. It's something that's positive in notes. Give something that is good, something that's positive. Now we're caught up into the illusions ourselves though, so we catch other bad vibrations and we're sending those out to others. How can we stop sending out bad vibrations? Or how do we stop catching the bad vibrations and have them attached to us as a better one? So we do not want to be attached to these vibrations people are giving us. See, so we have to do something. We have to learn to be really strong, be able to fight against it. And how we do that is to be and learn to be our own individual self. Now the process of becoming yourself might seem very difficult. It's like controlling the mind. Sounds pretty difficult. Anybody have any thoughts when you're meditating today? Yes. We know it can be very difficult controlling this mind of ours. So we have to figure out how to control the mind, to stop the mind. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna that he has to learn to control his mind. And Arjuna's answer back was saying, that's like trying to stop the wind. How can we stop the mind? And Krishna answers back, yes, it is very difficult to control the mind, but with much effort it can be done. And that is truth for all of us. And we can stop the mind. We can learn to be able to live by the heart instead of the mind. And that's where we want to be. This is the kind of vibration we want to give people, is through the heart, not the mind. The mind is constantly judging. The mind is constantly wanting. It wants to be separate from this self, the true self. It wants to be your own ego. So we want no part of that. So we want to get out of that phase of letting the mind run us around and telling us what to do. We want to go beyond that point and reach that point of this heart we have. Now, what can we do? What is the change that would happen to us? Once you start tapping into this self, this divine self that you are, all knowledge is outside, is inside of you, is in all of you. The Guru is in each one of us. It can guide us and give us whatever we want. But we have to start tapping into that. Start recognizing who this self is. In India, they write the self two different ways. One with a small s and one with a large s. The small s is the ego. The large s is this divine self that sits in each one of us. It's the Christ. It's the Atma. It's the highest of the high. And it sits in each one of us. That same Atma, that same Christ that sits inside of us, is in every form, in every direction. It doesn't have no beginning or ending. The existence is everywhere and nowhere at all times. So we give it a different name when we relate to it outside, but it's the same name. Brahman or God is all the same as Atma or Christ is still God. And now what we want to do is to tap into that self. Why we meditate? We want to know who our self is. We want to get out of this illusion. We want to be in love with that divine self. So the more and more you get into your meditations, the more you take time out to meditate, the more you start recognizing yourself and the more peace you'll find. It's real simple math, really. So what we got to do is to take the time out now. That takes self-discipline on yourself. But if you do take the discipline on yourself, I promise you, you'll find a change in your life. But don't expect it to happen next week. It's not a McDonald's. So we have to start recognizing ourselves and give time to start awakening to that self we are. Now, I point out to meditate for 1 hour. Did that seem long? It did, didn't it, for some of you? Yeah. Now, one thing that you have already set in your mind that the hour is going to be long. That made it much more difficult. It's just like taking a job and saying, I don't like it. How long does it last? Pretty long, doesn't it? So what we want to do is start recognizing this here hour, how important it is. Now we'll break it up a little bit. Now the first 20 minutes that you were sitting in that meditation, your mind was probably going, scrambling every direction there is. It's running around. It was telling you what you're going to be doing tomorrow, maybe the next day even, or it's telling you what you did today or what you did 20 years ago. It has run and it doesn't want to stop running. Now, so after 20 minutes have gone by of that running around, then the mind starts getting under control. We start controlling the mind. And so you start seeing peaks more and more of being able to control the mind and a little peace working in there. But yet the mind says, not yet. And so it runs off. But then it comes back and you're holding it for a little bit. You're getting that peace come through. And then it runs off again. So you spend 20 minutes doing this now. Now the last 20 minutes, the peace starts walking in. Has anybody, raise your hand if you felt the last 20 minutes start getting peaceful. It did start working out that way. So Can you imagine if you meditate just for 20 minutes? You say, well, God, I'm not getting anywhere in my meditations. Every day I just sit there and it just runs around and this is no fun. But we find out that 1 hour does make a difference. So we have to start disciplining on that direction of that 1 hour. And 1 hour every day. And start picking a time to do it. And you'll start finding out it gets easier and easier if you do it that way. But it takes, this is self-effort to do it, you know. The more self-effort that you put in this direction, the more willpower you get. The more easier it gets having that willpower. You got to do it. You have to do something about it. You have to make up. This is an individual direction. This is not somebody else telling you you have to do it. This is up to you to do it. There's no, your mother and dad are not watching over you like a child anymore. It's you doing it, see. And that is the benefit's going to come. That is a promise. It will come. But you have to start practicing. And the more and more you practice, the easier and easier it gets. It's like riding a bicycle the very first time. You fall down, you give up? No, you keep on trying over and over again until you master it. Then you're riding everywhere. And that's the way with the meditation is. Once you start mastering the meditation, what you found in your daily life starts changing there. And then you'll find out you start seeing a little more brighter every day. You start to learn how to control yourself. And you're learning how to not accept the vibrations of other people. But first we have to start growing first before we get to that stage. We want to see and recognize ourselves. And then you'll find out the peace that is existence is inside and outside. Negativity is not the way to live. It's very painful. It gives pain to other people and yourself. Let's see if we can turn that around and start seeing that love is everywhere. And no matter where you look, it's there. You can do it. And it takes you to do some practice to start waking up to that. That love that exists. Okay? Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The word Shanti, Sanskrit. Let's start spreading that everywhere we go. It means peace. Isn't that a beautiful word? Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You bob your head like from South India. South Indian people, every time you talk to them, when you see this, you know it from South. It's a beautiful day, isn't it? Is it a bad day? Somebody's bobbing. North Indians are, yeah, it's a good day. Anybody have any questions? There we go. Well, yes.
When you're trying to reel in your thoughts, do you ever say like self-affirmations to yourself? Or just focus?
Give me an example.
This is the first time I've ever tried to meditate.
Oh, good. How'd it go?
And I kept giving myself an affirmation, like just focusing on something positive and then imagining light.
You're doing really good. That's really great. I myself, I do little prayers a lot of times. I'm sitting there concentrating, you know, and it seems like, hey, I haven't found that supreme peace. I got to give up. God, you do it. Because I can't do it. And that's where it comes from. It's not me who's going to be able to do it finally. It has to be a surrender. But before then, we always use these directions. Yeah, you know, keep your concentration here. Okay. Another one is say, I'm supposed to be here now. So if I'm here now meditating, why am my mind thinking about everything else? Like that, right? Those are good. Those are very good. It gets you put down really where you're going. Yeah.
What determines the color that you wear?
What?
What determines the color that you're wearing?
Oh, I go in the closet and says, okay. Yesterday I picked white.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What does it mean when you have different visions and they keep changing? And you keep wanting to get back and you're finding yourself distracted. And you figure out you have to relax to get back, but the vision's not the same.
Yeah. Visions can be very helpful, and if you have no visions, can be helpful. Both ways. I'm not going to say, hey, you don't have visions, poor guy. Get out of here. No. It's both ways, you know. If you have no visions, fantastic. Visions can even get in the way sometimes. You're trying to focus, and all the time you have these visions, you know. And you don't know the visions are either mine or the vision, which one is which. So what we want to do is learn to keep that focus there. The mind starts talking, you know, and is pushing real hard. Force, you know what I mean by force? Let it run. Let it go where it wants. And then when it gets done, say, okay, time to come back. Use that, hey, it's time to come back. And bring it back to that spot. And just do this over and over and over again. Finally, the mind gets down to be a calmness. And when the calmness happens, it has to be at least 3 minutes, by the way, this calmness. When that calmness hits about 3 minutes, then this here meditation starts taking over. And when that meditation starts taking over, then a vision can come that's really a vision, see? And it's part of it. It's part of that spot you're looking at. A vision will show it, and then it will go back more in there. Okay? So that's your difference.
The fidgeting and things, finding that peace, is that just a physiological thing, or is that something that you can overcome?
Oh, you can overcome it, yes. Fidgeting like the arm or something.
Or just legs falling asleep and you move around, just not feeling comfortable.
Yeah, you know, we're not used to sitting for a long time, you know. And it might be you sit in a chair too. You can just sit in a chair. You can sit, in meditation can mean any pose, really. The danger one, like I saw you start to work on, is the land one. And the danger of that one is sleep. And it's so close. Sleep and meditation, there's a teeter-totter goes on. And everybody felt that, maybe? It's that teeter-totter going on. So what we want to do is that when you feel a heaviness, any feel of heaviness, like something pushing on your head, that's sleep trying to get in. And then that means get your concentration back again, because you're starting to drift off. And so you bring it back to a concentration spot. That's when you start waking up. As a matter of fact, I've stayed up 2.5 weeks. Never sleep. So you can stay up. That's all. Huh?
A lot of times when I sit in meditation at my home, after 10-20 minutes later, I feel myself just flying.
Flying?
Flying.
Okay, that's the meditation set then. That sounds good.
And that sensation stays there for almost under 20 minutes.
Mm.
And I've been experiencing and witnessing this kind of floatingness
Very
in
good.
meditation.
How lucky.
But I'm still getting deeper and deeper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if we want to search for ourselves. So is that an indication?
It's an indication you're meditating. It's very good. And yet you have to let go more. Okay. Keep on, okay. Let me fly around the room. You know, let go. And, you know, you hear the word astral traveling. Astral traveling is fantastic. But don't try. Let it happen. It can come naturally. If you try, there can be dangers in it. There are very severe dangers, people that are forcing astral traveling. Why is that? You leave your body and don't know how to get back, you know? You're knocking at the door and somebody else took over. What do you do then? Yeah. So we don't want to play that game. So let's get into the right game here. We're looking for who our self is, not to see if we can play games. So get your concentration going. And like I say, you start lifting out your body, fine. It's all fine.
And just before we keep asking questions, questions. I just want everybody, we do have potluck, so if you guys want to eat, we can have European dinner and eat at midnight. But if you want to just keep talking and hanging out, it's all okay with me. I just wanted to say, my name's Joanne. So nice to be here with Swami Ken and all of you. And me and Lynn Gaddy's, we are the spiritual business partners of Anahata. And we are, I'm speaking for Lynn, we are so grateful that you guys all joined us today because, like you just said, there is this vibration, this love vibration in the Anahata heart. And you guys have all just added your amazing energy to this evening. So thank you so much. I am so grateful for all of you for having the courage to activate your love vibe.
And we thank you for offering this center to all of us in a direction of love.
It's what we're here for. And just some rule, so we have some tables and chairs so you can go and sit and eat, and there's, everything's laid out. And my lovely friend Jennifer, Tessa, and since you're doing our event tonight. And just make yourself at home. So, I'm just gonna.
Okay, we'll just sort of finish it up. A couple questions more, and then we'll finish up. What is it?
I think I have a couple. So like, do you ever, when you first started, can you get like a headache?
What?
Do you get like a headache?
Do I get a headache? Will come from force. If you are concentrating here and your mind wanders, you have to bring it back. Like I said, let the mind run and just tell the mind, come back when you're done. Otherwise, if you're really trying so hard to bring it back and don't want to come back, what happens? You said it, headache.
So like, are you supposed to have like a feeling right here?
Oh yes, you got that.
Okay, one more question. So like, I kind of like woke up, I wasn't sleeping, but like, before everybody else, and I saw your facial expressions, and you just look like so full of like so much like compassion and just warmth and happiness. And do you like feel that when you're meditating, or do you?
I don't really feel nothing. I let God feel it for me. So you're feeling something like that.
Can you tell us more about the living in Samadhi?
In what?
The Samadhi?
Samadhi. Wait 1 second. Samadhi is this direction when you merge with whatever you're concentrating on. And when that merging happens all the way, when that finally spot that you're concentrating, finally you surrender your ego, you let go of this personality that you have and merge into that. You start experiencing that. When that happens, the burning happens. You get rid of all of your karma. All actions are disappearing. That's what happens of it. If you do this day after day after day after day, you start becoming it day and night. It's like your meditations now, your meditating are going to be a reflection of your daily life. The same with Samadhi. It does that. Okay? Yeah. The vibhuti you're getting, the holy ash, this here has been done by priests that have said prayers over and over again with it. And it's a vibration. We're talking about vibrations. This holds a very strong vibration to it. Swami Ken blesses it. I give it to my guru for no mistakes. I don't want no mistake on this stuff. And I let him bless it. And it goes through that, through you now. You have the vibhuti yourself. You have the holy ash in your hands. And you can use this to tick yourself in the morning or night or whenever you want to do your meditations. Start ticking yourself, getting that going. If you feel sick or something, you can just take a little bit, swallow it, drink water, however how you want to do it. It's very good for you. Okay, so it's a gift from us to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You want to speak? Sure. Before we get this